Alright, Shalom, Shalom. This is the brother Mayum coming at you from GMS Tampa Bay. First and foremost, I want to give all the praise and all the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of the Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out His truth and sincerity. And just want to do a quick video, just going into some current events. As we see things in the Middle East turning up. You got Esau, coming out now and saying that they're bringing about a ceasefire, which we know it's all bullshit, and you have all these different news outlets saying this and these other news sources saying that. And just a quick note on that, man, is, we just got to be weary of what's being said because, Esau is the master manipulator. All right. He's the deceiver the Bible speaks of, the devil. All right. And Esau, who owns the media, he controls the access to information. He can tell you one thing and another thing is actually happening. But one thing that we do know is that there is going to be no ceasefire. We can tell you that much for sure. These devils have always broken their covenants with people that they've made. All right, and the nations, we're in the time where now this devil is being found out, and the nations of this world understand this as well. So when they go into an agreement with Esau, Edom, they already know that more than likely this deal or this ceasefire isn't going to last. And as some reports have come out that they've already been sent, there's already missiles flying. So these devils, you can't trust them, man. And the scriptures talk about this. All right, but first let me start off here in Psalm 55 and verse 20. It says, "He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant." You see? And this is what Esau Edom does. All right, he forms alliances, he forms peace treaties with people, with nations. All right, and what he eventually does is that he ends up breaking it. All right, because Esau Edom is just the wicked, to put it frankly, is the wicked that the Bible speaks of, man. There's no getting around the fact that this man is a damn demon. All right, I'll read that again. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him, and that's what he does, man. He'll sit down or he'll send his little his little team to go and negotiate, and while they're negotiating, they're plotting in the background. They're planning on how they're gonna send missiles that very night. And again, man, the world is caught on to this devil's madness. There ain't no more getting around what this devil is doing. Other nations, as they make certain deals and as they make certain moves, with this devil in mind, they know that they have to make precautions. They have to take precautions to stay alert, because at any moment this devil can renege on his own deal. All right, keep that in mind. His own deal, he'll renege on it and catch you unaware. And so the nations aren't going to allow that anymore. They just going to keep sending missiles as well, which is what we're gonna or what we see Iran doing. Okay, it says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war is in his heart. His words are softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Right, man. This man will talk a smooth game. He'll tell you this, he'll tell you that. He'll make you feel like, oh, you know what, man? This was all a misunderstanding. You know, we're gonna be able to, you know, forget about this. We're gonna be able to move on and bring prosperity to our nations from, you know, from this chaos. And what ends up happening is more chaos comes, because this is what this devil does, man. All right, it's their slogan, the order out of chaos. Esau has to bring about his chaos. He has to bring about chaos in general for him to bring about his order. For him to establish a particular path that he wants to take, he has to cause chaos. That's all he knows. Okay? And it said, but war was in his heart. Yeah, man. This is all this devil thinks about. And Donald Trump is the epitome of you Edomites here in Rome, man. Babylon the Great. The Roman Empire all over again. This dude is the embodiment of that Roman spirit. All right, since he's been in office, he's been doing nothing but being a damn demon to these other nations. All right, whether it was with tariffs, all right, whether it was with sanctions, or whether it was with missiles, one way or another. Slovakia. One way or another, this devil has been a damn terrorist on the earth. I will say that, because that's what this man is doing. Matter of fact, let's get that word terrorist. We go into it all the time. Let's get it. Terrorist from 1795 in reference to Jacobins during the French Revolution. From French terroristi. It says originally of state intimidation and government coercion by methods of terror. And that's what America does all over the earth. State intimidation. Okay? Government coercion. America come into your country and tell you exactly what you need to say and what you need to do. Otherwise, hey, there's going to be bombs flying overhead. We're going to invade. Look at what happened in Venezuela. Look what happened in Libya, in Iraq, you know, in Panama. You know, Esau Edom always shows you what he's capable of. And when you look back at his history, you see that he's already done these things before. There's no, as the scriptures say, there is no new thing under the sun. We know this devil is who he is. The rest of the world is just now catching on, but in the scriptures it tells you that this man is the wicked. But this man's influence has reached, you know, all over the earth. And he's deceived the nations, as the prophecy tells us in Revelation 20. And he's deceived them for this short season that he's been out. This is what he was let loose to do, to deceive the nations. And he's going to bring about more death, man. Okay? Let's just get this real quick. Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10, it says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right. I guarantee you, go ahead and get a piece of iron, scrape it up a little bit, right? Put it outside, and I guarantee you 100% in the next morning you're going to see rust on that piece of iron where you scraped it up. Okay? By exposing it, right? Because that's what you do when you scratch it. When you scratch the piece of iron, you're exposing the iron. All right? And Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is using the prophets to expose this devil. All right? To show the world his nakedness. That's why it's hard for this devil to make any negotiations on earth, because everyone's caught on now, because the prophets have brought out the information. Okay? The prophets have brought out the information, and everyone knows. The only ones who don't know are these simple ass Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Y'all the simple ones that continue to go on about your day, about your life, with no understanding, all right, with no hope, because y'all trust this devil with your whole hearts. You put your whole lives in this man's hands, and you continue to do so even after this devil has done the things he's done to you and your people, and your ancestors, and your mommy, your auntie, your grandma. All right? This man has touched everyone, and you still believe in this man. You still trust a word, and you still trust every single little word, period, exclamation point. You trust everything that comes out of this man's mouth. But here it is, the nations don't trust this devil not one bit. So it says, verse 11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed, and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Right? See, it's like you looking into a mirror and you wipe it, and now you see clearly. Okay? So you're going to know his wickedness, just like you know yourself in that mirror. You look at yourself in that mirror and you're like, okay, yeah, no, that's me. That's my nose, that's my eyes, that's my face. Well, just as this devil does that, or I'm sorry, Salakia, just as you recognize yourself in that mirror, you will recognize this devil for who he is. Okay? It said, yet take good heed. And the nations are taking heed of this devil, man. They're looking at his track record and they know. They're like, yo, this nigga, he always breaks his covenant. Especially with us out here in the Middle East. Okay? So, you know, that's really the point, man. They're talking about some damn ceasefire. That shit ain't gonna fucking last, man. When was the last time this devil actually held a ceasefire that actually lasted? At least niggas over there in Russia and Ukraine, they at least know that no ceasefire is going to work. At least they're a little bit more honest. At least they have some more integrity about themselves. But your leaders here from America, they don't give a damn. They'll tell you they're going to sign a ceasefire. They'll tell them that the ceasefire is in works. And then they'll be sending missiles that very night. That's how much integrity these devils have here in America. You know, but hey, Lord's will, this was edifying. Just keep your eyes up, man. These devils ain't going to, you know, they ain't going to stop, man. You know, it's up for this devil. All right, his time is up. And he knows this. So as the scriptures say, you know, goeth about, you know, devouring who he can, because he knows that he has but a short time, man. This devil's almost up. His time is almost up, man. You know, so with that, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Hakim in the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out his truth and his truth and sincerity.